heck of a group, get a lot of attention. I'm not a Powerball winner, so unfortunately I can't announce any good news like that. Well, I know it's a late hour, and for the media, a lot of you have a timeline to meet, so I want to first, most importantly, thank you all for your time, and thank you for being here at this late hour. As you can see behind me, we had a lot of folks that we wanted to try to include into today's announcement and have this conversation with you all. And I'm truly happy to be joined by this large group of Ohioans all throughout the state that represent different interests. I specifically want to thank my good friend Betty Montgomery for being a part of this initiative. She brings a lot of interest to this. And also, as you will be maybe surprised to find, one of the founders for Responsible Ohio, Jimmy Gould, who has agreed to come to the table and also participate with this. And Jimmy and Betty, I know you're both here. I really appreciate your efforts, along with all the organizations and groups from the business groups, the medical industry, both the FOP and the Buckeye Sheriffs, and different entities that participate. Now, that being said, there's a lot of groups that are going to have interest in this topic, and what we tried to do is put together a group of interested parties that could represent a broad swath of different interest groups all throughout the state, in different aspects and different varieties, with an open mind to hear out this issue and talk about the issue before us on medical marijuana. Other groups, I'm sure, will have interest, and we will hear throughout this process, like the Bankers Association, the Ohio Hospital Association, and many other entities that will have some kind of interest before this task force and commission. This is not a task force that we're establishing to be a stall tactic. It's not a task force to just be some kind of fancy report that will end out at the end of the day. Matter of fact, we don't know the exact end result, except for currently we want to make sure we start the process to be open ears and start collecting data so that we can come up, hopefully, with some results later into the future. But it'll be one that I've asked the folks that are on this task force to be ready to respond quickly, as I've given them a deadline by the end of March 31st to be exact, to wrap up their hearings and meet with different parties and interest groups all throughout the state, largely here in Ohio. As many of you know, we've been looking forward to and talking long and hard about creating a task force to take an in-depth, comprehensive, and balanced look at medical marijuana. Last November, Ohioans rejected issue 3, but as I traveled the state and talked to many citizens throughout the state, there was a lot of concerns, a lot of questions, and a lot of interest, particularly in medical marijuana. So our goal is to start the discussion, which will provide more information, facts, perspectives to the debate in order to guide our future actions and policies towards a measured approach on medical marijuana. I've asked Representative Kirk Schuring to chair this task force. I truly value his friendship and his leadership and his professionalism, and if there's a hard task ahead, he's always a good person to turn to. He will do great work, and I look forward to his leadership on this panel. Prior to this task force announcement, I've asked Representative Schuring to travel around a little bit, talking with medical experts and interest groups to kind of just gauge interest to the conclusion that we were able to come forward today. So with that, in this time, I want to again thank the members of this task force that all stepped up to serve their state, to serve the 11.5 million citizens of our state, to look into this. I want to turn it over now to the chair of the task force, Representative